I think we're in an interesting time at the moment where masculinity is being like put under the microscope and tested in a lot of ways. I think we had a few years there where like we were all kind of going, yeah, you know what, like it's good to be vulnerable, and now we're having this kind of swing the other way.
Do you know what Wasteman is in Toronto?
Come on, dude, tell me. You tell me.
A Wasteman is exactly that, just like a waste you. Like he does nothing right, is just a waste of space. It felt like such a Toronto word that when I saw it in the email, I was like, what is this about? So what's Wasteman to you guys?
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. I love that we're like nailing it with Toronto.
No, it makes sense.
This is
so like,
In the film though, there are definitely some heavy themes, some heavy topics. So like, how do you guys? How did you guys keep the morale up? Because the whole thing was tense.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, our film is a prison thriller, you know, and it's set in the world of a British prison, but it's definitely beyond that, you know. It's all about how we rehabilitate people, and my character is a character called Taylor, who is just on the brink of parole when another character called Dee comes in and risks ruining everything for him. And I do think, you know, while it's like a really high-octane, tense thriller ride, it's also at its core about how do we treat people, you know, and hope, and what do we look forward to. So yeah, man, I got to be honest, we held on to that. We had to, when we were shooting this, we knew that this was a story about hope, even though it was intense and we had moments of real clash, as our characters. We knew that we were making something that felt bigger than ourselves, so that makes it easy.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it helps when you love the people you work with. Like, you know, David and I are tight as hell, and Cal, our director, is tight with us as well. And so we'd have a hard day, and then you'd say rap, and we'd all be laughing and joking, and like the tension leaves the room. You know, it's like
Wait, so do you agree that like your character ruined it, or how much of that is his choice? Because as I was watching the film, I kind of struggled with like who to blame. I ended up liking both. I ended up thinking maybe they're closer than maybe I got fooled. I don't know. I'm kind of book clubbing it right now, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, without spoiling too much, I think there's no denying that Dee is problematic as hell. Like,
for sure.
You know, this is a man who's like, he's damaged goods. Like, he's really traumatized himself. So he's, you know, hurt people, right? So he's hurting everyone around him because he's not healed his own stuff. Whereas Taylor is actively working to heal his own stuff. And so, I don't know, I leaned into that a lot. But you can't judge your own character, you have to love them, like no matter what they're doing. So I had to fall in love with Dee, even though I think he's like trouble. But yeah, I think Dee's to blame, but I do think like it is a question of choice, right? Like the film raises the question of like, you always have a choice in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I felt it for your character. And you guys both were so incredible in that film.
Thank you, man.
Like even just walking into the room right now, looking nothing like the characters. I was just like, I don't know what I expected to walk into the room, you know, but you guys did an outstanding job, I'll say that.
Thank you.
And you've had your fair take at these villainous characters between now this and Hunger Games. How do you, because I think you do a really good job at still bringing the humanity into those characters, even though it's like very much the villain. How do you approach that, and do you find it difficult to be able to do that?
I mean, yeah, it's difficult. Like I came off Wasteman and literally was like, I need to do a rom-com because I'd had a string of like difficult films. So that was like the next thing I did was a rom-com, which was refreshing. But then the minute I finished that, I was like, okay, back to the gritty stuff. You can't keep me away from it for too long. But I think it's mostly, again, it's what I said before about like you got to love your character. You can't judge them because you got to find the humanity within it. And I think that's why I'm drawn to those characters. Probably the same with you, right? It's like you're looking for the complexity. You're looking for what makes them a fully fledged human, even in the good and the bad.
That's such a good answer. It just reminds me that like some of the toughest street guys that I know in my own experiences are actually nice guys. So there is that humanity there. So I think it's really cool to be able to do that so well in the character.
Thank you.
Let's talk about masculinity. I feel like that word has come up as it pertains to Wasteman and this thriller. What do you think some of the, I guess, key elements of masculinity that are shown in this film, and the challenges to that?
Well, it's a really interesting point, and I do think our film delves into it. You know, masculinity is what you make of it, right? And I think when you, on the outside world, it's a bit more, you know, you can kind of be who you are, be a bro, and like we respect each other. In the prison world, it's different, right? You know, you kind of have to operate in a certain thing. It feels like someone sets the base for it. So our film, I think, really does reflect different sides of masculinity, but mostly on the inside. Like, for instance, my character Taylor, you know, he's the way I wanted him to be. I lost a lot of weight to play him because I wanted him to be very like paper thin. Yeah. You know, he's struggling with a lot, and it's all on the inside. You know what I mean? I think that masculinity really rang true to me for Taylor in Wasteman. Yeah.
Yeah. And for you?
I mean, I think we're in an interesting time at the moment where masculinity is being like put under the microscope and tested in a lot of ways. I think we had a few years there where like we were all kind of going, yeah, you know what, like it's good to be vulnerable, and now we're having this kind of swing the other way in a pretty toxic way. Yeah. And I think this film really puts that under the microscope. I think something we talked about a lot was like the prison system being like a pressure cooker version of the outside world. So it's like everything that's in the outside world in the prison system is put on blast and is put on like 100%. Yeah. Because it's like, you know, you're literally being watched all the time. You're in a tiny little space. You're cramped in. So all the toxic stuff from outside is like heightened inside. Yeah. So we really leaned into that.
And we were lucky enough, weren't we? We worked with actual prisoners. You know, we immersed ourselves. In fact, a lot of the, like 50% of the actors on the set were ex-prisoners. So we got a chance to speak to them, to understand our characters more through them, and you're understanding different layers of masculinity through them. So we just drank that in, which was really awesome.
We should shout out Switchback, because we worked with a charity called Switchback, which is a UK like charity that works with previously incarcerated people.
Shout out to Switchback.
And they do amazing work, and shout out to Cam especially, who I bumped into the other day. And they were amazing. They were kind of like our consultants, but then also like put us face to face with a lot of previously incarcerated people, who then, credit to Cal, our director, and Sophia, our producer, were like, we need them in the film. You know, they wanted to let actors act and let us stretch our muscles, but they were also like, we want to make this a collaboration that is about like putting a spotlight on the difficulties within the prison system, and the authentic way to do that is to bring those people into the process with us. And it just made the whole thing feel like 100 times more authentic, 100 times like more meaningful for us and them, I hope.
I agree. Yeah.
Wow, that is that just gives it such a more informed position, because there's certain things where I'm like, the other film is like, oh wait, is that realistic? Like, are people flying in? Like,
I mean, we were shooting in an old prison.
We did the same thing, right? Me and Tom would be like, you know, getting ready to do a scene, and we'll be like, hang on, we'll be allowed to have that? And we'll be like, yo, Cam, like, when you were in, did you have that? He'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Or like, no, move that. So like, we really wanted it to feel as authentic as possible, and not in like a voyeuristic way, but just in the way that we're trying to get to the meaning of what it means to be like a young man today, especially on the inside. So
I'd love to see your guys off-camera shoot. Like, the vibe, like, you know, you guys look like you legit enjoy each other's 100%. Company. Yeah, which isn't always the case.
No, we do, to like the detriment of everyone around us. Everyone's always like, all right, calm down.
Oh, really?
This is us on our best behavior.
We're being good right now.
Being very silly.
I love that. I love to hear that. That's so good. You have a friend who's also here at the festival. His name is Cooper Hoffman.
Yes, sir.
He says you're one of the most charismatic people in the world. Would you agree with that description?
100%.
I was actually quite scared there. If he was like, nah. Nah.
What is he on about?
Can you imagine?
Yeah, no, it's like no one can put a smile on your face like
So when you look at what he was able to offer in this film, that character is Taylor, from beginning to end, and then who he is offset. That is a performance.
It is, yeah, but I mean, you know, the credit to David, like he contains multitudes, and so like he can be charismatic and outgoing 1 minute, and the next minute introspective and quiet and thoughtful, and like that is, you see that in Taylor. I think you see that like he's so watchful, but then at the end when he gets buoyant and there's a bit of lightness there, and you can feel the hope a little bit. Like, you know, that's like David brings all of himself to the role.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's what's up. Okay, we gotta wrap up, so I'm gonna go quickly. I got one left for each of you. For you, you've got 3 major directorial debuts coming up. You're in Cal Coleman Domingo's Scandalous, Frank Ocean's Untitled, A24, The Boys Booked and Busy. Is there something about working with first-time feature directors, or is that just a coincidence?
Do you know what? That's pure coincidence. No, man. Look, you know, I'm first of all, I feel so blessed and lucky to be working, man.
Sure.
This is what me and Tom talk about this all the time. It's what we love. We love telling stories. We love working with people and collaborating. Even this interview is fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no,
Appreciate you.
in any capacity that I'm able to do that, I don't mind. If it's a first-time director, if it's a million-time director, I just want to tell good stories. So that's all it is.
That's what's up. And that gratitude is the attitude for sure. Last question for you. You mentioned it. You know, kind of villainous, then straight to a rom-com. People we meet on vacation. The name alone sounds like it's going to be good. Is there anything you can tell us about that yet? Yeah,
I mean, it's based on a book. It's based on like a best-selling American novel. This it's for the girls. It's for the girls.
Quotes.
No, it is. It's like
I'm gonna watch too.
It's for the girls and David. It's for the girls and David. David's my piece on the side. It's a fun one. It's just like I do a lot of dramatic, you know, similar to you, like a lot of dramatic, like serious, like psychological, experimental stuff. And then this one was just for like, I was like, I need to do something fun and light and about the love, and it is all about that, isn't it? And it's so it's coming out in January.